This is a women's health care practice in Omaha, Nebraska, KETV. By the way, KETV is a pretty prolific submitter, and you're going to see two ideas from them in today's session. This is the first one from Elise Court, and it's called Associates in Women's Health. This is one of the ideas that's relatively simple, but it has a hook in it that makes it a very powerful idea. The idea was to execute a women's practice campaign emphasizing the creative. In fact, this whole idea was about the creative, how they approached the creative for this women's practice. And what they did is they featured real patients with their real doctors. So it was direct patient to direct doctor. But what made it special is they used black and white stills to make the creative pop, and they used music with it as well. The participants were the associates in women's health, the patients, the doctors, and the KETV creative team. Maybe the best outcome of all of this were how the doctors felt about it. If you guys remember, 25 years ago, a doctor wouldn't be seen on television. It was considered, it wasn't cool for the industry. Today, doctors love being on television. And when you see how the doctors are portrayed in this, it couldn't be any better for them. It absolutely could not have been any better. This is an 18-month campaign. This is the other thing that makes it so powerful. When you get the right creative and you build the right solution, clients are willing to invest over a long period of time. So they're not going back reselling every month, but they are going back to the client every month and revisiting to make sure that it's working. It runs September of 2014 through February of 2016. It involves KETV, they're in MeTV, KETV Digital. As I said, they do monthly check-ins with the client on performance review, to review the performance, how it's working. They got 54 grand from a women's practice. There isn't a market in the country that wouldn't like to have $54,000 in spending from a relatively small women's practice. 18th month commitment, and as we said, the doctors love it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the creative, a couple of the spots of the creative that ran to support this campaign.
I had been going to Dr. Pearsall for a few months, and we had decided that we wanted to get pregnant. We always felt very comfortable once we were pregnant with our prenatal care. The staff and Dr. Pearsall always answered our questions with compassion and smiling faces when we arrived each time. So now we have beautiful Vera. I 100% would recommend Associates in Women's Health. We had the best experience and are just thrilled with the way our family has turned out.
Associates in Women's Health, a higher level of care.
Dr. Nabby is my favorite doctor. He just makes everything so easy. He spends time with his patients, which you don't get very often. I came to Associates in Women's Health for 2 pregnancies. I love the staff, I love the doctors. After my husband and I had our 2 sons, we decided our family was complete, and we opted to do the Assure procedure for permanent birth control. I've been very pleased with it, and I have full confidence in Associates in Women's Health and Dr. Nabby.
Associates in Women's Health, a higher level of care.
I had a hysterectomy. Dr. Simmons performed that for me, and she used Da Vinci. That's robotic-assisted laparoscopic surgery. I had surgery at 7 a.m. I was released by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My experience with Associates in Women's Health has been nothing but positive. The staff is wonderful. The doctors are wonderful. When you come here, you're made to feel comfortable.
Associates in Women's Health, a higher level of care.